So I want to welcome you to this session, which is Unit 8 of this Executive Wellness Leadership Program. The choice which we are looking at this point is the choice to collaborate with others. You see, personally, it took me time to understand that I cannot do it alone. It took me time to understand that you will always need people in your life. Naturally. And when you talk about my genetical makeup, I'm somebody that loves to keep to myself. I'm somebody who loves to do things in a solo way. But over time, I have come to realize that that is not the route or the route to having a good life. And I believe you will agree with me that doing things solo way, uh, going your own way without having to have anything to do with people is not always in your best interest. If you want to make meaning out of this life, and if you want to make the most out of what life has to offer you, you need to understand that life is only good when you learn how to collaborate with others. So, and this is why this topic is very, very important. When we are talking about collaboration, we are talking about how you interact and relate with people, how you connect with people, so that you don't think you are always better. There are some people, they think they're always better off doing things by themselves. I tell you, you are not better off. The smartest idea are not always your ideas. The smartest ideas are the ideas that other people have something to contribute towards. So there is always a win-win situation when you learn how to work in collaboration with other people. And I don't know how to say it more than this, but I believe you are getting the point I'm trying to make, that life is still important than to think you can do it all by yourself. So let's get the ball rolling. What is collaboration? Now, here, this acidic proverb uh, from as a wisdom quote. Uh, the man who thinks he can live without others is mistaken. The one who thinks others can't live without him is even more deluded. These people just completely finished our egos. If you think you can't live uh, without others, or if you think you can live without others, they say you are mistaken. And if you think that others can't live without you, you are just living in delusion. There is no such thing as that. People are very, very important in our lives. You need people. Trust me on this. You need people. You need people around you to make the most of life. People are your greatest assets. They can also be a pain in the ass sometimes, but nevertheless, that would never rule out the place that people can play in making your dream better. So, what is collaboration? Let's talk about it.
So, simply put, I think collaboration can just be called teamwork.
Teamwork, powerful teamwork.
Yes.
Teamwork, uh, John C. Maxwell says, makes the dream work. Teamwork makes the dream work. Thank you, Adenike. Yes. Let's keep the ball rolling. Let's keep getting out the word. What is collaboration?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Maiwa.
Mine is in kind of definition. It's not like a
Go ahead.
specific word.
Free to.
Collaboration to me, because actually part of what I'm doing deal with collaboration. So to me is a set of people, or let's say a team of mindset of people trying to achieve a particular goal. Like, okay, let's say we have a purpose. So people coming together, having the same life passion just to achieve that. So that seems like collaboration to me.
Yeah, thank you. So even though your what you're saying is not so clear, but I still got what you're saying. What you're saying is that collaboration is when we have people coming together to achieve a common goal. Thank you. Who else? Who else wants to bring another dimension to it?
I think to me, the synonym. Hey, I'm in a meeting, guys. The synonym of collaboration to me is alliance.
Alliance. That's another powerful word. Alliance.
When you have people of like minds that are willing to support you, encourage you, and push you to your limits, like they can push you to be successful. I think that's what collaboration because sometimes it does not necessarily mean they have to come into you, but sometimes they can collaborate with you by even just giving you thumbs up from afar. It goes a long way.
Exactly.
So
thank you. I think we have all contributed very well, and everything we have said is absolutely true about collaboration. And I'll just go ahead and just summarize all that we've been saying. That collaboration is when two or more people work together towards achieving a common goal. It means to work together in agreement, seeing things from the same perspective to achieve a task. But however, sometimes collaboration does not always end for good. Occasionally, people come together to achieve a bad end. So you can see that people can also collaborate to do evil. Is that also true? That is also very true. People often, like when you find people robbing a bank, you don't find one single individual go to a bank to rob a bank. It usually involves gangs of people. In fact, you even see insider within the bank collaborating with them. Is that not an act of collaboration? It is, but it's just that it is not a good collaboration. So sometimes collaboration is not always for people to do good. They can occasionally come together to achieve a bad end. Now, here is our leadership mindfulness thoughts. If you are a man or a woman that loves to avoid people, it is important for you to note that you cannot do it for a long time. You cannot do away with people in life or in your community. You can't do away with people. That is the absolute truth. You always need people around you. Life is too short to want to do everything alone by yourself. You need people. Trust me on this. You need people. So why do I need to collaborate? Is there any need why I need to form an alliance with other people, just like Toby said? Now, here is our wisdom quote from Anais Nin. He said in our wisdom quote, each friend represents a word in us. A word possibly not born until they arrive. And it is only by this meeting that a new world is born. That's very powerful. You see, as I'm reading those words, I'm looking into my life and I found it to be true. So why do I need to collaborate? Let's talk about it. Why? Now, I'm not talking about you telling us what other people need to do to collaborate. Why do you need to collaborate? Let's go ahead. Why do you need to
Okay. To me, like Adenike said, she said teamwork. I think I held that point.
Yeah.
To me, the major reason why I need to collaborate is for me to be able to find a creative solution to any problem or any challenge I'm facing. Sometimes what I'm looking right in front of me is backing someone, and how I put it, like being logical now, what I thought I knew, someone else might actually know how to do it better and in a more easier way. I might know a simple, there are some formulas to see in mathematics, for instance. There are some formulas you use to solve a solution that will be longer than another, and it will you will still arrive at very similar answers and also coming together. You'll be able to brainstorm, you'll be able to like bring ideas together, you'll be able to break a workload of you see something as a mountain or something heavy coming together. It's just like how I put it, division of labor. You'll be able to, one, it will be faster, you'll be able to achieve progress within a short period of time, and at the same time you'll be able to see from other people's perspective in order to be able to determine how you live your life, how you achieve. So for me, I think the major reason why I need to be open to teamwork or to collaborations is for me to be able to have the insight of other people, and at the same time be able to find a creative solutions to whatever I'm facing. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Wrap that up, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
So he has actually spoken well, like even speak all my mind. So to wrap that up, I think what I'll just say is that most time when I collaborate, okay, I do run a team of some guys, so more of like foundation. So but most time when I collaborate, most time what actually happens is that I want to manage time. So I target time management. Like, okay, I want to organize a program, and I don't even have all the resources for this program. Apart from, I'm not saying resources in terms of, okay, let's say money or something. Sometimes somewhere just need what you spend like 7 days on. Somewhere just have it and help you to finish it in 2 hours. There was, like example, there was a time we want to organize a program, had a guest, and then though we don't have the idea, then we don't have what it takes. So it took me a lot of assignments. I have to go online. I searched for some already register organization on that particular thing. I spoke to their coordinator, so I brought them in. So they are the ones that will partner with to actually achieve that, and then from there we launched our own. So in that aspect now, something that I have to go to learn for a long period of time, I was able to achieve it because we collaborate with something with someone. So I think collaborating, why I collaborate to me is when I want to maximize time. I see this in a way of networking. So what like one book that I was reading, it said for you to achieve something, maybe something meaningful in life, you have to work like let's say like 140 hours per per day. It's actually one networking book like that. So and you don't have all those time. You cannot. We have 24 hours in a day. And then for you to be wealthy, yes, I remember that statement. For you to be wealthy, you have to work like let's say 100 hours to 140 hours a day. So you don't have those hours. But let's say you have like 20 guys working for you on that same course, and each of you are working like 20 hours, or let's say 10 hours. You have even beat that 100 hours or 140 hours. So that's what I have to say, sir.
Thank you very much, Mayowa. Uh, I think there are two major points, even though you said one, but I would say there are two major points I got from your contribution, which are number one, need to collaborate to manage time. Not only that, we also need to collaborate to manage resources. Those are very, very critical, because when you don't have people to help you do certain things, you will spend more time than is required. And then when you don't have people to help you manage certain areas of your purpose in life, you will be starved of resources. So we need to collaborate to manage time and to manage resources. Thank you. So Adenike, are you saying something?
Yes, sir. So, okay, before I delve into my point, I'd like to read Ecclesiastes 4:9-12. It says, two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up.
Oh my God.
Also, if two lie down together, they will keep warm.
Yeah.
And how can one keep warm alone? It says, though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves.
Hallelujah.
Then I finally put it that a cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. So collaboration is fat. It gives strength. If you say you are forming an alliance, and it is an alliance of one, there's nothing like alliance of one. Alliance of two, well, it's good. But when it becomes three, it's strengthened. Unshakable. Thank you, sir. So I think they have already mentioned some points. So I just have to read this one so that we can really understand the depth of collaboration. Even the Bible recognizes that collaboration is good, is necessary, is effective, gives good progress. I think that's why I always like to say that the only reason why God created us in multiples, is for association, but so that we can collaborate.
Yeah.
So that we can get this done faster. Thank you, sir. Let me also say that in church now, thank God, in church now, we have pastor in church, but we both know that pastor cannot do it alone. Exactly. That's why we have workers. In my church, at the beginning of every month, we will have workers meeting, because pastor has an understanding that he cannot do the work alone. Exactly. Sanctuary will do their own. Choir will do their own. CCU will do their own. Ushering, media, they collaborate to make the whole work better, smoother, and more strengthened. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. You know, I'm also a pastor, so I clearly can say that no pastor can do it alone. You know, when we as pastor, when we see people who are functioning in the church, well, I will speak for myself. I am always very grateful, because I don't want to take it for granted. When you see people do things for the sake of the work of God, you really need to appreciate them. Thank you very much. So let's go to our conversation summary. One of the reasons why you need to collaborate is so you can bring dynamism to your effort. That's another word, dynamism to your effort. Oftentimes, when we collaborate with others, they bring different ideas, perspectives, diversities to what we are doing, which ultimately enriches it. Look at the world that we live in. It's a world of diversity. Think of the diversity in animals. Even as human, think about the diversity. We are not all blacks. Even in our blackness is in grades, is in degrees. There are people that are more black than the others. Also, among those who are white, they have different degrees of the whiteness. There are some people, they are white, but when you look at another set of people that are white, you know these are not Europeans, you know these are Asians, you know, even in Asia, you know these are Indians. You know, we are able, this diversity is what brings strength to our society. So our leadership mindfulness thought says a friend can represent goodness in us, which is very true. I've had friends who have taken my life to another level that I would never have been able to go on my own. So we have friends who can represent goodness in us, and they can also represent a nightmare in our life. Think of people who have been influenced badly because of their wrong friendship with certain people. Some people's life took a wrong trajectory as soon as they go into alliance with negative people. So in as much as we are saying collaboration is good, you also want to be careful about whom you are also collaborating with, so that you don't collaborate with people that will destroy your life. Now, with whom should I collaborate? With whom should I collaborate? Let's hear what Alexander Solzhenitsyn, that name is very powerful. So let's hear his wisdom quotes. He said, the salvation of mankind lies only in making everything the concern of all. That's where the salvation of mankind is. We all have to be equally interested in what happens in our world. We can't just leave it to the Americans or the Europeans to keep determining the fate of the world. We all have to collaborate and decide that this is what is best in the interest of all. Now let's engage with the conversation. With whom should I collaborate? With whom?
Okay. Adenike had actually made a very salient point, and I'll place this Amos 3:3 on the back of what Adenike had said earlier.
Yeah.
Can two people come together unless they agree? So you want to collaborate. One, you need to find people that have like minds, people that have the same vision as you do, people that has the same goal as you do. And then secondly, agreements, because you might have people that have the same goals as you, but they are not willing to brainstorm or probably share their own how I put it, values or core values that you share. We might have same purpose. Some might want to do it godly, while some ungodly. That's what I'm trying to say. So you must have someone that have a like mind. That is my major point. And secondly, there must be an agreement. There must be an understanding, like an MOU. Just like you want to go into a contract, now there must be a memorandum of understanding between both parties that is coming together to achieve a purpose. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have any contribution before we go to our conversation summary? Now, our conversation summary luckily focuses on the experience of the first group of people, not just 2 or 3 people now, first group of people that really united to collaborate together. Okay, Nifemi says collaborate with someone who is capable to. You can't collaborate with someone who will just sit and do nothing or be looking, who does not have anything to bring to the table. I think I hear you. That is absolutely correct. Now, in Genesis chapter 11, verse 1 to 6, I'm sure we're all familiar with that scripture. When the people collaborated, the Holy Bible emphasized one speech, one language in their aspiration to build the first ever skyscraper in human history. Now watch it with primitive technology, not with the modern technology that we have now. Because they imagined it together, nothing could restrain them from achieving it. Not even God could stop them from achieving it. Why? Because they possess one language, they possess one speech, just like Amos 3:3 that Toby quoted. They were in agreement with one another. So agreement, alliance is very powerful. That is why you see nations come together to form an alliance. And I believe we can all see what is going on in the world today. You can see the NATO align themselves together. And you can see Russia also align themselves. Russia, India, China, South Africa, Iran, North Korea, and Russia. You can see they're already forming their own alliance. That is, and what are they trying to gain? Just like Adenike said, they are looking for strength. Because they know they cannot do it all alone by themselves. You know, when I begin to see those alliances as they were forming, I just have a massive pity for Africa. Massive pity for Africa. If anything happens today, Africa is in trouble. Africa is, because we don't even have the resources to form any alliance. We don't even have any strategic military intelligence to match up. Our leaders just keep embezzling money. They are selling the future and mortgaging the future of the entire continent. I pray the Lord will have mercy on them. Now let's take our leadership mindfulness thoughts. In as much as we want to work with people who are in alignment to what we see and how we see things, I also want to bring to our knowledge that it is also very important to embrace people with diverse ideas that can make us see other things that we cannot see on our own. How many of us knows that you can't see it all? For me, I have had people in my life who had come with something totally different from what I see. And the perspective and the perception they brought into my life has completely revolutionized my life. How many of us have experienced such people in our lives? So that is why sometimes it's not all about people who just agree with you. Sometimes you also need people who are a little bit divergent from what you think, so that you can have a balanced idea and then be able to move in the right direction. But the key word is still the fact that you are all interested in achieving a common goal that will be for the common good of everyone. Now, how do I collaborate? Is there a skill that I need to learn so that I can collaborate very well? How do I do it? Now look at our wisdom quote from Alexander Dumas the Younger. He says, friendship consists in forgetting what one gives and remembering what one receives. What a powerful quote. So how do I collaborate? Now let's talk about that for a moment. How do I collaborate? What is the required skill needed to collaborate?
For me, there's this popular quote that said, do unto others as you want them to do to you. So if you want to collaborate, you should have something to offer. Just like Nifemi said earlier, like, I want to do something, I should possess my own diverse ideas that I'm willing to put on the table so that we can sit down and talk, and all the ideas, my own ideas should be able to be on ground for me to be able to say, okay, this is the purpose. Well, this is my goal. This is my plan. How do I achieve this? To who am I looking up to collaborate with? And how can I make just like you want to collect a contract, you must go through the proposal route. You must write your proposal. You must write, your statement, just like your statement of purpose and all. So I think it begins with us personally. How do I collaborate? Have something to offer. When you have something to offer, it will be easier for you to. I got to know School of Transformational Leadership on the wings of my wife. And apparently, I am more active than my wife that brought me in. So that is the point. She was willing to work. I came into the picture, and so if she does not have anything to offer us at that time, I don't think we'll be where we are now. So I think we should be able to have something that people will be willing to collaborate with you on. Just like Maiwa said, there are some people that have the resources. You have the idea. It's just like you want to start something now. They will tell you, we will sponsor you, because they don't have the idea, but they have the financial backing. So, and it's a collaboration on its own. You have a business idea. Some people have the money. Okay, let's come together. Let's do it 70-30, or let's do it 60-40. Probably everybody reach an agreement. So I think the paramount thing, everything, the G factor too is there. Everything is God, because God can direct people your way. God can link you to people that really matters, because so many a time, even in the Bible, God will direct someone to someone and miracle will happen. So that is my own point, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toby, for those powerful points. Do we have any addition to make before I do our conversation summary? Now, just to add to what Toby said, if we want to collaborate, the way to do it is to have something to offer. You must have something to offer. And the other thing I also want to bring to it to balance things up is that in collaboration, you should be less focused on yourself. In collaboration, you should be what? Less focused on yourself. To collaborate well, you need to focus on others. No doubt you are bringing something to the table, but also acknowledge what others are also bringing to the table. And I think that is what our wisdom quote is emphasizing here. Our wisdom quote says, friendship consists in forgetting what one gives and remembering what one receives. Mayowa also says, making a deep research and planning, having understanding, and then to be valuable. So that is what you need to collaborate. Every of our points are very, very correct. So if you want to collaborate, always stop thinking me, or me, I, and myself. You know, you need to get away from yourself and just for a moment, concentrate on what others also has to bring to the table. Always appreciate their input, and don't always think that the whole thing or the whole idea is all about you. So you need to focus on others as well. Our conversation summary says, to collaborate successfully, you have to be open to ideas of other people. Don't be too cringy. Don't hide inside your cocoon. You need to value what others are bringing to the table and not focus too much on your idea as the alpha and omega in the community. You know, there are some people, it is either they have their idea or nothing else. Even if the idea is not good, they just want people to always run with their own ideas. Even if the idea is going to be to the detriment of the organization, they don't care. So if you want to collaborate and you want to do it well, you have to give room to other people. And here is our leadership mindfulness thought. Don't always remember what you did for other people or for others. Rather, cultivate the habit of remembering what others have done for you. And that is a very good disposition to keep in life. So where do I collaborate? Where exactly do I need to collaborate? William Shakespeare says in his wisdom quote, one touch of nature makes the whole world kin. Wow, that's a very powerful quote. One touch of nature makes the whole world kin. So where do I need to collaborate? Where? Is it only in the church, like Adenika said? Where do I need to collaborate? You know, unfortunately, there are some people, their best self is only in the church. That's where their best self exists. Outside the church wall, they are not effective. They are not cooperative. So where do I need to collaborate? Where do I collaborate?
Okay, sir. Thank you. Yay. Sir, it's not only in church. It's but I always like to use church as a template because
that's fine. That's okay.
Yes.
That's your world. It's also my world.
Yes. Basically, sir, if you ask me, okay, before I even say this salient point I want to make, let me just say that God, in His infinite mercy, when He created us, He did not put everything in one man. He distributed it. Yeah. You take this, you take this, you take this, you take this. So that we'll need each other. So that no man will be an island unto himself. So that we'll need each other. So having said this, I'd like to say that for me, I think collaboration should start in the family.
Yeah.
In the family. Because the people that you meet outside are coming from a family. Exactly. So if every family have that structure in place, they have already, put that discipline in the children, in the father, in the mother. They've already put that value. I want to call it value in the family. Then coming outside to collaborate becomes a norm. It becomes a natural instinct. It becomes the first thing to think about when you want to think of a go ahead. Do you understand? So I believe it should start from the family, Because the family is the starting point of any good thing, any great thing you want to see happening in the society. Everybody's coming from one family. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. You know, I have come to appreciate that the most important people in your life are, first of all, your family. You know, if you can just appreciate that enough and just allow your family to experience the best part of you, to enjoy the best part of you, and just be a worthy example to them, the rest will be done seamlessly. And that is exactly what Adenike has just emphasized, that we need to do well in. There are some people, they are not doing well in their family, but they want to impress in outside the family. But I begin to wonder, who are you impressing if the people that are closest to you are not even impressed about your life? So we need to focus first on doing well by collaborating in our family, then by extension, taking that to the community to demonstrate what we have already, what our family already know us for. Nifemi says, collaborate in a place of need. Collaborate in a place where you will add value. You know, that is what every one of us should dream of every day, adding values to people, making people better than the way they were. You know, adding something that will make people better, creating values in people's life. That is where to collaborate. Now, our conversation summary says, everything in the universe is a sum total or part of the whole. Just like Adenike said, when God created us, he didn't put everything in one single man. He distributed it all over. He gave gifts to men. So there are some certain gifts you have in you that B doesn't have. There are certain gifts that C has that A and B doesn't have. So when we come together and aggregate our gifts, then we can be a million times better than where we used to be. So everything in the universe is a sum total or part of the whole. Therefore, it is natural to collaborate because everything in the universe is interrelated, interconnected, and interwoven. Any void discovered by you is an opportunity to collaborate with people. And I think that's very powerful. And I think Mayowa also says collaboration can be beneficial in various aspects of your life. It depends on your goals and interests. It could be at work to achieve a project, in a community to support a cause, or with friends and family to create memorable experiences. That's very powerful. So our leadership mindfulness thoughts says to collaborate with anyone, you have to check the legality of the basis of your partnership so that you don't get into wrong collaboration. You must cross-check if you are not violating the law of God or the law of the land. Is your alliance in agreement with universal principles? You see, these are some of the caution. These things are put there so that it can serve as a check to some alliances we may want to go into. Is my alliance with so and so person, is it in agreement with the universal principle or principles? Does it contradict the law of God, or does it contradict the law of the land? we need to watch out so that we don't put ourselves into trouble. Now, when do I need to collaborate? When do I need to collaborate? This is the final question we're going to look at, then we close in this for today. When do I need to collaborate? Now, here is our wisdom quote from Edgar Watson Howell. In his wisdom quote, it says, if a friend is in trouble, this quote is very, very funny, but is very true. If a friend is in trouble, don't annoy him by asking if there is anything you can do. Think up something appropriate and do it. Isn't that true? When somebody is in trouble, don't pretend as if you don't know that he's in trouble. Rather than asking him, what is your problem? What can I do for you? You be creative. Think of what you can do and then do it for that person. That is when you need to collaborate. And I think somebody has already said that we need to collaborate when there is need to provide something of value to our society or our community. So when do I need to collaborate? Yes. When do I need to collaborate? Is it when somebody cry, and then begins to really beg me that please, when do I need to collaborate? Or do we have to take the initiative and just
okay? On my own end, sir, I think from what Mayowa said just now,
yeah,
when there is a cause for us to collaborate and we know we have the capacity,
yeah,
to collaborate, because you might be willing to collaborate, and you might you might not have the resources. You might not even have how will I put it, what is needed. So that's why most times you need to be sure of what you want to go into. That's one. And secondly, if you know you have the capacity to collaborate or probably step in, then I think you need to. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that powerful contribution. Do we have anybody else? Why do I need to collaborate? You can just tell us what you think it should be, because this is all about you. Why do you need to collaborate? If there's ever going to be any reason for you to collaborate, what would that reason be? Okay, there is silence in heaven now. All right, if we are not coming up with something, now let's think about the wisdom quote for a moment. You see, collaboration is not something you wait for people to call your attention to before you decide to offer it. When you see a real need in the society that requires your talents, that requires your capability, that requires your gifts, you need to offer up yourself for service and be of service. Now, can you imagine your friend is in trouble, is in deep trouble, and you know he's in trouble, and you have the resources to take care of his problem, and now you are still asking, how do you want me to help you? How do you want me to do this? How do you want me to do that? Hey, Edgar Watson is saying, when your friend is in trouble, don't annoy him further by asking, how can you do? Or what can you do? He said, just think up something appropriate and do it. In other words, collaboration sometimes often required us taking initiative. We have to take initiative and just offer up ourselves for service. Now, our conversation summary says, here is how you will know when you need to collaborate. When you discover that you are stuck in the same spot. This is very true. When you discover you are stuck on the same spot, and when you know that your ability alone cannot take you any further again, what do you do at that point? Do you keep doing it? You need collaboration at that point. When your own capability can advance your career again, you need to collaborate. And here is our leadership mindfulness thought. Collaboration may again be a simple act of kindness. In most cases, it does not have to be profound to make it sound good. Just a simple act of kindness can serve as a collaboration. So I want to thank each and every one of you for today's conversation that we've had together. It's been very enriching, though I think some of us are finding it really tough to process some of the ideas, but I'm sure you really enjoyed it, and then you are willing to put it to work. You see, we need to, these two keys we have just talked about today, self-government and collaboration, they are choices you need to make in life to experience a flourishing life. If you want to flourish in this life, you need to be disciplined, and you need to learn how to collaborate. So thank you very much. God bless you. Do you have any question? Any question, any suggestion? And then next week we have a blast. We round up the session, and then we'll be looking forward to set up our school proper. And I hope I will be able to work with some of us subsequently in the future regarding our School of Transformational Leadership. Thank you, Mayowa. Mayowa says, I'm blessed today. I finished today's session. Thank you, Mayowa. So do we have any question? Thank you, Nifemi. I see you. I appreciate you too. Do we have any question? All right, Toby, do we have anything to say? So I think after next week, Toby, we really need to, we are really behind schedule. We really need to.
Very. We have less than 6 weeks now.
Yeah, so we really need to fire up and then put things together as quickly as we can. Yeah, yes, Mayowa says, how can we get records, sir? Yeah, for those of you, now I'm going to give you this prerogative. For those of you who participated in these sessions, I am going to send a private link to you. Just get in touch with Toby. He can have you, he can send the private link to you. And please don't share it with people, because this is going to be something that is going to be put out there, and then which is going to help a lot of people. But I'm going to, because you are also part of this work, I'm going to allow you to have access to it privately, so that you can see what we've done together, and you can see the impact we are going to make in the life of people in no too distant time. So I will give you that that special privilege to have access to the private recording on YouTube. So is that okay? Does that answer your question, Mayowa?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. Yeah, you're welcome. So Toby, do we have anything else?